the seasons change, we remain. Introducing the Art for Change podcast gang. The intellectual Mr. Sapiosexual. That's all you gotta do, be you. Montana Cobain pulling up in the truck. And Lady Alba with the glamorous power touch. We stream live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Soul Food Sunday, Motion Monday, and Therapeutic Thursday. And some days in between, switch it. Subscribe and bell on so you don't miss it. But if you do, we on repeat on every major podcast application. Interviews galore and more. Y'all know the situation. So book your seat when we turn up the heat with your Art for Change. I don't have sound.
Yes, y'all. Hey, man, what y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is another episode of Art for Change podcast. I am your host, Mr. Sapiosexual, and the co-host in the building, Lady Alva. How you doing today, love?
Lady Alva's good, everybody.
Yes. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
We got a special guest in the show tonight. And without further ado, I'll let Lady Alva introduce, I guess.
Yes. But first, let me ask, how you doing today, mister? How was your weekend?
I'm blessed. Queen, I made it to Montana, so we got a different background going on. Yeah.
Oh, you in? All right. We've been anticipating that. How was it? You drove straight?
Yeah. No, ma'am. Like a 2-3 day trip. Yeah.
So you had some layovers or stayover in different? Mm-hmm. Okay, so how was the journey? Like, was it interesting? You saw new land? What's different?
Yeah, I seen a lot of mountain range. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, okay. We went through Colorado.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Did you stop and dine somewhere where y'all have to eat, right? So some of the diners.
I was trying to get there.
So my sound is going in and out. Forgive me. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. We just stopped and got fast food places. We're just trying to get there.
I'm going to come off of here because we're not going to play this. Let me see what we're doing. You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I got you too. There we go. Go ahead. So, did you dine out anywhere? What'd you do?
No, ma'am. We didn't dine out.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of, you got to think about it twice. Like, I'm traveling in foreign land, new town. Should we go in diners and stuff around here to places we don't know?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So how's the weather there?
The weather's good.
All right. We're excited to hear more about your experience on that journey. You're going to keep us posted, right?
Yes, ma'am. Of course.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want you to lean in. Because my guest tonight, her name is Nish, artistically known as Nish from Norf, which is Philadelphia. She's a singer, storyteller. She's a creative. She's a plethora, I like to say. Many people like that of things. So we're stepping into a different kind of room tonight here. Something I wrote because of something she wrote to me. Not a room built of drywall and paint, but a room built of memory, lineage, and intention. A room where design is not decoration, it's identity. It's belonging. It's the story of who we are and who we've been, stitched into the spaces we call home. Nish, our guest tonight, wrote something that stopped me in my tracks. She said, a part of us has been lost in translation, and that we have the power to reclaim ourselves inside our own spaces. That line, that truth, is the heartbeat of tonight's conversation, y'all. Because when we look at what she had mentioned to me, Afro diaspora, you'll hear more about that from her and what that is for those of us who don't know, because I didn't know. But you see, a people who have always turned scraps into gold, a people who have always made beauty out of limitation, culture out of chaos, and home out of whatever the world handed us. But what happens when we finally name that? When we finally claim that? When we stop navigating design through Eurocentric frameworks and start recognizing the textures, colors, patterns, and makers that have been here all along and ours all along. So tonight, buckle up, put your big ears on. We're talking about interior and identity, the bridge between our ancestry and our modern lives, brownstone, bohemianism, and all the unnamed languages our communities have been speaking through design for generation. We're talking about the cultural house our guest is building, room by room, discipline by discipline, and how each room leads back to the same question. Here's a question you can answer to us later. How do we create spaces where people can see themselves more fully? So let's get into it. Let's open our minds and our imagination, because tonight we're having a dynamic conversation. We are building a house, y'all.
Yes, we are building a house.
Welcome, Nish from Norf.
Thank you, Lady Alva.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. That introduction made me feel so wholesome. Like, it felt like the perfect mirror I would want to wake up to all the time. Like, yes, this is who I am. Let me go ahead and conquer everything that's on my plate plus the next plate. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yes.
It's drawn from the wonderful right that you gave to me, describing the totality, really, I say, of you, the heartbeat that lives in you. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some fire on it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like the example. It helps me lead myself when I forget. It gets very forgetful when you're raised in that pocket of urban areas. We have things like statistics, or things that aren't so harsh as statistics, but as real and holds more weight, like motherhood, parenthood. And we're still able to call ourselves artists and creatives, which requires such a liberty to express beyond. So thank you for the platform to share today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. Do you have anything you want to reach in right now, mister? Welcoming the wonderful guest. But we can't hear you. You on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, I'm glad for you to be here, and I'm ready for the conversation. Let's get into it.
All right. So I have some questions I drew up, and again, from your wonderful right that you gave me. Yeah, and so I have to say, we at Art for Change, we like to accommodate our guests fully. And always the show is for the guests, it's for them, the spotlight is on them, the shine is on them. And this is literally Miss Nish here, the first time to where I literally told her, because when a phone conversation, I said, Nish, I'm outside after we were diving in. I'm outside talking to my neighbor. And what you're dropping on me right now, I'm not going to remember it. So do this. Write your show.
Yes.
Lay your show out. And because this is dynamic, what you just told me, and I'm even interested, like I'm interested in every show and everything I do, but it really caught me. So that's what happened, y'all. So here we go. So I drew these questions from your beautiful write-up. So interior, identity, and Afro-diasporic design. Explain to us first what Afro-diasporic design is.
So the root word, other than Afro, is diaspora. So diaspora is the separation of a culture. Now we take the prefix and put it back. Afro diaspora is the separation of Afro culture. So when it comes to the Afro diaspora and identity, these Afro cultures, Afro aesthetics, Afro identities, all of these Afro connected elements and pieces are a part of the diaspora that needs bridging into areas and arenas like entertainment. We don't see a lot of colored cartoons or interior design. We have a lot of Eurocentric led things in Target, but we don't see a lot of designs that look like the set of Martin or the set of Living Single. So it's that separation where you find this niche pocket, but where how do we make it whole? How do we even connect the pieces? And that is where the Afro diaspora and identity come into play, of really giving us a space to say who we are, know exactly who we are, and have those specificities catered to in a way where our expansion in our identity or just our mere existence isn't, how do I say, on a faulty foundation or a faulty structure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that response. I like the part we're bringing ourselves, knowing who we are, and the wholeness of it. I want to say this to that. At this point in my life, like I'm like, dude, I don't always have to. I just want to be whole with myself, and it doesn't necessarily have to be I'm black, I'm black, I'm black, because you can clearly see that. You might see something else that might be running through me, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to embrace this Afro diaspora, and I like how you described it too, Mister. What you gotta say? What you gotta say?
Yes, yes, yes.
And you're shaking your head as soon as I mention that word. So I'm like, oh, Mister knows about it already.
Yeah, yeah. I love what I'm hearing. I love what I'm hearing. Yes, I want to see how we could make all this connect.
That is a very crucial question, and it plays into not just it connecting, but us connecting to each other. So that word connection, on how it connects, that's a part of the answer. Honestly, I feel like you just helped me realize that, to be honest. The way we speak to each other, platforms of Instagram, or what we share with each other, whether it's a how do you say, a YouTube shorts, Pinterest boards, your mood board, your Sheen haul, like you're sending things that's like, oh, this is me, this is what I like, and people are growing to know who you are. They can build on what they know, and they can build a respect for it. So we translate that to our identity and give that the proper, you feel me, space, structure, power, and go ahead and give us that capacity that represents who we are, that capacity that actually shows the time, the effort, the skill that goes into the world we inhabit, but we have so many gaps. It's crazy.
So that sounds like being authentic fits in there too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you say, because when you attach all of that to your identity, your authenticity. Go ahead, Miss.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to jump.
Engagement. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Betty. No. Go ahead.
You sure?
Okay. I thought you was going first, and I was going after you. My bad.
I'm mixing it up because she's got so much to say, and I'm also seeing you right there too. So I want to grab what you got too right now. I wanted to come out. It doesn't matter. But something Nish wrote, that the way we identify with the spaces we occupy directly influences how well our functionality, presence, and culture are supported within those spaces. So how did you first realize that design could be a form of cultural identity and not just aesthetics?
Cultural design. I've always felt myself and my identity strongly. So I was someone that represented self strongly. And when I was younger, my mom gave me chores specifically of mopping, sweeping, cleaning glass stuff in the house. But with doing those chores specifically, I had to move furniture out of the way clean. And in my mind, after I'm moving furniture around, I can see a different vision of the room. So I'm like, okay, since I'm already here, mind you, I'm like 13, 8, 10. It took me a long time to get out of 98, 95 pounds. My metabolism just sky high since so I'm just this tiny little girl moving furniture around the living room, and my mom is shocked as ever when she come home. And my voice of reasoning, because she's very old school, do not touch and move anything without my okay. So, but I'm the middle child, so I'm going to break a couple of rules with good reason. And my reason was feng shui. So I just felt like I had to always be genuine on what I spoke on, which kept me knowledgeable and pursuing to dig deep when it came to knowledge. So when my mom came home, I had more to tell her on why I changed the house based on feng shui. And the more I learned, feng shui is a cultural tie of how humans move in their environment. It's a understanding. It's like a rubric, a guidebook to know the power of your space and how to use it. So then I learned about the Bagua map of feng shui, which highlights each compass point, the elements that attribute to it, the person of the house that can resonate to that direction or energy as well, such as the mother, the father, the firstborn, the lastborn. It's just that type of depth. The more I found and the deeper I saw that it went, the more I was just like, oh, okay, well, if it's like this for China or Japan or Nordic companies and they have guides like this, where's mine? Where's me? Who can tell me what is that color palette on Martin? Where can I understand how Regine designed her room, or all of these different sets that on TV, which is really important, that showed us an inside look on what it would be if Black designers or the Black culture had that space and liberty to be a college campus, to be a home in Bel Air, or to be an apartment building in New York, and you are a radio host and you got the money to do it, or it's not even about money. There is no limitation. This is a set. This is your character. This is your identity. This is built around you. But when we identify with the stuff on TV, there's no direct title for it. So then it makes it difficult to go look for it. You don't know.
Nice.
And there goes the gap. There goes one of those gaps. So Lady Alva, the quote that you mentioned was actually by Shane V. Charles, an interior architect that I've been following and learning from a while. And she speaks a lot in a way of which I'm able to identify what the gaps are, such as not being able to identify certain design styles to say, hey, this looks like a Southern twist inside of a New York City, but it still has that New York energy and homage of Black culture to it. We have a Southern Harlem blend, but we know what to call it. We know what it looked like if Bernie Mac moved from Detroit and went to Florida or LA. We have different cultures that has this gap, but now we're able to see how it's bridged in this beautiful lavish house with palm trees, but there's African masks on the inside. So we need names for that. So shout out to Shane V. Charles. She actually has a book that is often finding itself sold out when I go to look for it, because it is basically the dictionary, the encyclopedia, the picturepedia of all of the Black styles and designs and cultures and spaces and identities that she was able to identify throughout the diaspora and bring it together to give them titles.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Your husband popped up. He says, my wife be preaching.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. And
Thank
Poet
you,
E. West, we see you in the building, and he described us and said that's what Art for Change is about. And all you other viewers.
Dropping jewels. Yeah, he said he loved it.
Thank you.
Callie, I'm going to pronounce the name wrong, but it's something she's saying to you. Yes, boo. Hollering at you. Yeah. Go ahead, Missy. You got a question?
Yes. Your art blends Black fantasy with cultural memory. Can you discuss how these elements inform your storytelling and what message you aim to convey through these creations?
oh, this is great. This sparks that childlike wonder in you and in me that prays to never go out once we adapt to adult responsibilities and realities. I use air quotes on child because it's just that primitive human experience. Like they're that Aries sign. Shout out to my Aries placements that I love so much. It's right out the gates where you're not worried about nothing. You're straight head fast for it. You don't see limitations. You don't understand limitations. The limitation does not exist. So when it comes to me, I'm a big fantasy girl. I love the princesses, the fairies, the mythical creatures. And prospectively speaking, growing up, I pray with gratefulness to the most highest of energies and my ancestors that kept me protected, especially with my mind. I didn't find myself in a lot of great places, but I knew my mind, as my body was wandering, stayed whimsical, it stayed in a place of imagination. I would look around me and buildings would be abandoned. As you know, in Philly, it's a lot of structures that go untended to for years, a
Yeah.
lot of lots that are vacant. And I see castles, I see my dreams like in real life. I see grown ruins. I see empty lots that look like it could be a pond there with the farm. And I see people from my community that are these characters that live in this world in my head where everything is perfect. Like the flowers have faces and lashes and they're talking to me and I can just open my hand and drop out gems and grass. There's certain places that I had to remain mentally and emotionally, no matter how dually contrasting in a more negative space reality could have been. And honestly, that's what shaped my strength in art because it wasn't so true, because it's so surreal. My art is like a fever dream. It keeps me in space. Like if I could manifest this on the canvas, then I could live in this reality with contentment and just meditate in front of my art, understand why people go to museums and stand in front of a piece for hours and hours and hours, taking that one image and imagining motion. That one image inspires movies, it inspires animations, and that one image inspires movement, so in the right direction. So that black whimsy is a strength that I hope a lot of little girls that aren't STEM advanced with the science, technology, engineering, and math, the girls who don't know how to articulate their emotions or their perception, even the men, the humans, all of the humans that could pick up some type of medium to create. I hope that it is clear that whatever is in your mind, you may not could literally mutate pigs to fly with wings like a fantasy, as far as I know, but you can paint it and you can sit there with that painting and develop multiple narratives over time. You could sit there with that painting and come back to the same story every time because that space gives you what you need. And I needed my flowers with lashes and my girls with bonnets emerging out of the grass like Homer. I needed that every day.
There's a movie, right? A Beautiful Mind, and yours sounds like a beautiful mind. And it would be so lovely if we could just have more humans like that, or those that do have it, if they really release it outwardly and let us know it, or show it to us in ways, definitely. And I'm so that you mentioned Philadelphia. I kind of, when I have come to visit, and I see how did this happen with all the abandoned buildings? And I still see too those houses that are magnificent. Somebody just needs to fix them up. So if we had 10,000 people like you with that mind, instead of the people, oh, it's a dump now, nobody wants to stay here in North Philly and get out of here. No, fix it up. We need those people to come in and fix it up. And with that mind, you're gonna care for it. How could you not? you know. Yeah, that's beautiful. You also, one other thing I want to say, you gave something which actually I have to give homage this to my mother, because when you mentioned about like in the museum and watching a picture
Yes.
for hours and hours, my mother always had designed her home. She's a creative mind. So she would even bring stuff in from outside that I've learned to do. But I don't know if you guys remember like the old type of street warning sign before the cones. It was a horse, I think they called it. It had the middle leg and then the triangle. My mother brought one of those in her house and painted it, and it was a art piece sitting in the middle of her house.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She
Yes.
did stuff like that. She had her paintings. She was in whimsical in ways too, different seasons and holidays. But you could always come into her home, her bedroom alone, and just sit and gape.
And that is a sanctuary.
Because she
As soon
had
as you
different
wake up, you
things
just
and
gonna
this and
sit.
that and some of the family said, "Oh, it's just too much." I said, "I love it." Because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
see this over and over, but I always get to focus something in a different way or look
Yes.
at it differently. Yeah. So let me roll on to another question. Which do I want to pick here? You invited us to imagine design languages like Harlem Deco and Brownstone Bohemianism. If you had to define the first pillars of an Afro-diasporic design language, what elements would be non-negotiable?
Okay. So let's see. Well, I am a student and still learning. The pillars I return to, though, are cultural roots, color theory, materiality, and functionality. Um, those all play into understanding how we live. Because with color theory, we can pick up and give emotion. We have blue that can give you a sense of clarity or tranquility, a sense of deep calmness if you get a deep blue, a sense of uniform if you use a navy blue. We have greens that can make you feel refreshed. It could inspire you to be more money focused. It could inspire your green thumb. It's a lot of ways that color can psychologically tap into your day-to-day movement. So color theory, functionality, because when your room caters to you, you're able to cater to yourself as best as you can, and that translate by proxy to everything else that you're touching throughout the rest of the day. And cultural roots, non-negotiably, because walking into a room, that sense of belonging, like going to your grandma's house, you know where everything at. You know you can wash dishes when they're dirty. You know where to go to the bathroom. You don't have to question what's going on at grandma's house, and nobody's really questioning you. Like it's a home. It's another place where you know your functionality is supported, and you know how to function within this space. As opposed to the mailman, he can't just walk up in grandma's house. He's not even gonna really know too much of what is even appropriate past the threshold. Like you don't know if you're supposed to have your shoes on. You carry it. You still got your mail hat on. Like you gonna go through it with the first 20 seconds in the grandma house. There's certain rules and regulations emotionally, or should I say internally, because it's beyond, not beyond, but it's with emotion plus some. So emotionally and psychologically, that goes into a functioning space, and that grounding sense of surety and stability within knowing your roots and what you need to cater to you in a home, whether you want a regular paint finish or a material finish on your wall that's like a Roman clay. So when you touch it, it's textured. Or do you want a floor that's wood and polished, or do you want a natural stone? Like it's a lot of, it's a whole lot that I love to keep acquiring
Yeah.
to know, because the more we know, the more we're able to function better.
That's yeah, I agree. And it sounds to me, you made me think that we might be, I believe we're a lot lost culturally in our emotional grounding and our psychological grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Because why do people like, oh, don't even, why are there people that it's just a color, it doesn't matter? Why does that
Lack
even
of knowledge.
exist?
This lack of knowledge. All right, so I'm gonna say from being a mother of children, multiple children under 10, I'm able to experience how education channels differently and how it's consumed and how it's retained, because it can be consumed but it can also be regurgitated and not in a way that's like you're comprehending what I'm saying. Is just like you're just repeating back what I'm doing is not resonating in your being, and now you're expressing it from your own genuine standpoint. So with that, I will say learning from my children, when I teach my son who is 10 and in fourth grade, I have to really break it down to not just layman's terms, but once I break it down to the basic fundamentals, I have to go ahead and apply what he cares the most about. Because if the terms, if the terminology or the imagery is not resonating, it's like YouTube when you're building a brand or putting things out and considering the market and how people are consuming it. Certain audiences, you only got 3 seconds before they scroll. Certain audiences, you only got 10 seconds before they scroll. And that's like how people consume information. If the first 3 choice words do not hit, it's in one ear, out the other. So some people take the consumption of the psychologically and the emotional connection of color the same way masses consume astrology, I would say. It's like, oh, it may be true, it may be this, but people still say, oh, yeah, that sounds like me, that sounds like me. It's okay to claim it. It's okay to claim it, because when you take something that does make sense in a way and you acknowledge the truth in it, you're able to not just bypass the facts and stay ignorant. You're able to take what the facts that you don't know and use context clues around it to understand it versus bypassing it.
Interesting. Okay. Mister?
Yes, ma'am. I like how you put that. You're a lady of multiple disciplines. You work across different mediums, including visual art, music, and tattooing. How do these diverse forms of expression interact with each other with your creative process?
Can you repeat that for me one more time?
Yes, no problem. Being that saying you're an artist that across different mediums, including visual art, music, and tattooing. How do these diverse forms of expression interact with each other in your creative process?
Okay, I have a great answer for this. They all work together as a vocational hierarchy. All of them are this, like, they're part of the same vocation bubble, ecosystem, not ecosystem, but the same world, so to speak. And each one is its own ecosystem. And it's like, I look at music, and music is more than just writing and singing. Singing is another form of storytelling. So I'm learning how to narrate through multiple mediums of sound, because sometimes I'll narrate emotion, but I'm not using words. I'm just vocalizing different textures of harmony, but you can still feel the resonance of the narration through the energy of what tones I'm choosing to use, so to speak. And I could take that articulation and learn how to alchemize through these different ecosystems. So with tattooing, music could come into play with how I can draw a connection between a certain tattoo flash portfolio and build advertising around it that has music that matches. I'll make my own jingle, or I'm able to be my own partner in each different hub, but it's like not very different hats. It's like the same. It's one big set, different crew, wardrobes, photography, editing, and we're all able to be on the set and do the job. And I wear those 10 hats.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. I like how you did
Nice.
that.
Yeah, that's why I said she's a Maximus.
Yes, a maximalist to my core. Yes.
Mhm. Tell us, take us on a little deep dive about what it is to be a Maximus, because I don't recall myself ever saying that and giving that description to someone until you. And it just came out like I had to step back, like, wait, what am I saying? So, and you embraced it, you received it, and you actually acknowledged that about yourself. So, take us on a little dive about you being a Maximus, what that is.
I have two great stories. And one is from my husband and the other is from my mother.
Mhm.
So when my husband began living together, like really living together, and if you look at our house, like he don't take up too all his stuff. His stuff could fit in a back office. My things are all over the house. My things. I have a lot of stuff that caters to each room. So if I'm specifically picking out a clock, decorum, shelves, a statue, and it's all in the kitchen, I process the space and the layout, but to him, it's a lot of stuff. But it has purpose, like the vocational hierarchy. And when we had this ongoing, I mean, for months, even till now, there's light tit for tat on how much of a maximalist I am, but he swears it's hoarding. I'm like, none of my stuff is trash. So this is not hoarding because everything serves a purpose. When I look on the wall at the Puerto Rican flag, or I look on the Xbox at my scorpion sculpture, I'm gathering energy in my bearings. I'm honoring where we come from, who I am. This is not a lot. You're just not used to all of my things constantly collecting around you, but it's not like it's boxes everywhere.
Okay.
It's just the responsibility of cleaning up and being responsible for all this stuff. But it's okay. Learning to share responsibility comes great with children. And then with my mom, she just likes to tell me I have a lot of stuff. She's modern day minimalist. My wonderful Cancerian mother. She likes things. But I'm like, no, you gave birth to the child that want glitter on everything. I'm very eclectic. If I could get a stop sign, or not a stop sign, a whole traffic light, and put it
You
in
would get
my
it.
studio, I would put it in there. It serves a purpose because now I'm inspired, and not only am I inspired by what I do in Black Whimsy, because that would be so very liberating. And a little bit, am I using this word right when it comes to anarchy? I don't think I am, but just like going against the rules, breaking the rules, because we're not supposed to take the stoplights. I surely don't see myself going to a stoplight factory and they handed me one. So the way I obtain this traffic light to put into my house, it has a purpose. It's tying me back to my culture. I go to school every day, see a traffic light. I drive through the hood every day, I see a traffic light. People speed past traffic light. You already know how it is in Philly. Like, I'm getting my license. Everybody and their mom next to me is in there for speeding tickets. Like, nobody cares about the traffic light. So every time I see this traffic light, it's a key. I'm culturally rooted and connected, and I feel liberated because I obtained this through a way that's probably not from the factory, but it's mine now. So it serves a big purpose.
Yeah, I love that. I would say nice to get in the traffic light niche. I saw an apartment as one time in my life. I was apartment shopping, ground floor apartment, and when I went in it, it had in one of the doorways up top exit. I immediately saw it. I said, "Oh, is that going to stay there?" The broker, the realtor lady, she says, "I don't know." I says, "Well, yeah, it is. If I'm going to take this, it's going to leave it there." Exit sign, yeah. Because apparently they use it as some type of commercial place at one time or another, or maybe it was just there for whatever it was that make sure people knew where the exit was coming out of there, because it had a back door and a front door. It's kind of like ground floor, kind of almost, like a lot of stone and natural. So, but it had an exit sign. I said, no, leave that there. Yeah. Mister, go ahead.
That's that
Yes,
childlike
yes.
one that just fuels their creativity to blow
Yeah.
past limitations. Like, what? This belongs anywhere. This belongs where I see it to belong.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
As the founder of the Rse Grown Creative Studio, man, and the Nish Gallery, talk to us about that, man.
Rse Grown Creative Studios and Nish Haus Gallery. Let's start with we can start with what you started with. Rse Grown Studios. That is a creative studio that emerged from building a YouTube channel first for my oldest son. And Rose is their last name that they share. And once I started having more children and, siblings, I want to do what you're doing. I want to be like you. Now the both of them are saying, like and subscribe to my video, guys. Is no camera around. They're like, comment below if my chicken nuggets are spicy today.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you already got the fire. I just need to give you the playground. And I went to school in 2017 for mass media and animation. I stopped going to school to take care of my oldest, and it's like I just picked up a career when I dropped school with building in him. I had little side jobs on the side, sustained in the economy of capitalism, things like that, green things, the paper stuff. But with passion, paying with my time and my passion, I built Go 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 Kawaii, which was amazing to see him just look at himself and look at what he's doing and just be fully expressive. There was no confusion on what he wanted to do or who he was. It was just like, all right, Mom, press record. All right, Mom, I want to go and get a slime kit, and I want to make slime just like the YouTuber I watch. And with them growing older and having their own spark, like and subscribe and telling me what they want to do, I'm also, as a parent, watching what they're watching. So I'm like, I'm not gonna hold you. A little bit of ancestral anger popped up when a lot of colonial representing people was on the screen that they were watching predominantly, and they wanted to do, like, they wanted to be at these lake houses. They wanted to do everything that I did not have. Even the slime kit wasn't easy to manage a lot of the time. So I would be like, yo, you gotta stop watching this. You can't watch this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I said I thought about it often. I felt so bad because he loves watching. He's inspired, and I felt bad after I thought about it. But I was upset. I'm like, stop watching that because they're not putting no money in your pocket. They're not teaching you how to do what they're doing. Like, he literally looking at me like, girl, I just want to look at this toy review. I want to see what they're doing. But I'm taking it on a much deeper level that he doesn't even know he's going to cross yet when he gets older. And he's 14. Like, he's watching children that experience nepotism. And I'm trying to teach him and raise him and build that same ecosystem for him, which is completely different. We don't come from colonial resources. So we have to take the scraps and turn them into gold. So when we're posting YouTube videos and you could see the trash in the neighbor's yard, or you could see the alley cats running down the street because they're getting chased by a raccoon, maybe we'll turn into a spoof. But that's the reality of what we live in. And that raccoon chasing the alley cat is going to get you what you want to see. We can animate it. What you want to give them superpowers? Do you want to give them a name? Like, we can turn this into whatever you want this to be to make it your world. Because the reality of what we live in is not what you're approaching it as, but we can make it back. We can get there. And Rse Grown Creative Studios came to when I was just like, you know what? The A for ad leads, the Ryan toy reviews, all of that. They're in Walmart. My kids want to be in Walmart. We about to do that. We're gonna go ahead and trademark what we need to do. You want to be like Mr. Beast and have chocolate? You want to be the next Willy Wonka as well? Let's go find us some chocolate factory. Soul, Aries, my little toddlers, 4 and 2. Y'all want to be like Blippi? Let's go. Like I'm watching Blippi like, yo, he really out here. Like I did not all know all of this fun. This not no shade, but
Yeah.
this grown man having more fun than my kids. Like I don't. How do I get this to be us? And I want to make us a creative brand to connect and
Yes.
represent and open doors, and learning how to communicate that in a way that teaches my children what we're doing is not walking up to Crayola and say, hey, we like crayons. Why don't you let us do a little 1-2 for you? No, learn how to know who you are as a brand, know your identity, carry yourself as a house, show how much your innovation, your creativity is a value to you, and how that value is evident in the world when we document what you're doing and what it's shaping and shifting. And you take that potential and you go and be a big fuzzy dream. You be the biggest supernova, and I am your guide. I am your support team. I am your team. I'm your mom. I'm your parent.
Right.
So whatever you need me to build, luckily, you know, I am her to do the designing, and they have a designer, they have an animator, they have a photographer, they have a videographer, and they don't know how good they got it. I'm trying to train them. Our oldest does stop motion now, and the middle one does role playing with the action figures, so he'll do like narrative speech. And I'm just looking at them like, I wish y'all could function the computer, like just record it yourself and edit half of it, and I would and then I can help you in, or you know, stuff like that. But I just keep working no matter how long. A 2-minute video may take me 5 days to finish, because I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm going taking school. It's just everyday life. But I'm committed to say this. We finishing this show. This joint gonna be out by the end of the week. Like that consistency is gonna get us to that point where I'm like, okay, now I can see you working on a laptop. You can just be like, hey mom, look what I got so far. With your YouTube plex in the back. Because you know, we did that, and now you can carry your torch.
Yeah.
So that's the Rse Grown Creative Studios.
That's a beautiful studio. Sounds to me. Yeah. Two things I want to pull out of that when you mentioned ancestral anger. I think that's an awesome way to describe it and to speak it out loud. Many of us don't even realize that thing that rises up when we see something or hear something, how that feels inside, that's what it is. There's many that mimic anger because that's what they see. There's so many wrongs that have been done and misunderstanding, because Black people carry a lot of ancestral
rage,
everything,
pain, trauma,
and we've been misjudged by the colonial people and other cultures or races, because that rises up in us, and then they judge it as something, oh, you just being, no, what you see when you do that, you're just putting me in your colonial box, and you don't understand. I think I can say the diaspora that lives in me.
Yes.
So
we're internally
some of us,
yeah,
it's very important. So I really like the way you described that. And some of us are really mishitting it. And those of us that don't know, Brown, we need to really understand when you have that emotion and feel, just before reacting, I kind of sit with it and say, why am I feeling this?
Yes.
Why am I feeling anger about this crap over here? Like, what is that? Before you start to get into it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll come back to the other thought that I wanted to pull, because I just dug myself into that and it kind of backdraft on me. But that's okay.
Is great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the Nish at Night, Nish in Motion show.
Nish in Motion on Monday.
There you go. Yes. There you go. You said we move from simply occupying a space to a true belonging within it. What does belonging look like in a room what does it feel like? You've highlighted some of the importances already, but give us a little more about that.
I will say, from my personal perspective of belonging into a room with someone that can come across a lot of different ways. My energy has a lot of depth to it, so I can be very intense, even in excitement. Like every time I gave birth, like the day of or the night of, I end up laughing at some point, and I like shock my kids out of their sleep. So it's like, for me personally, to have so many ranges of how I can be perceived due to how much I hold, to belong in anywhere, I have to really feel like I belong to myself. And when I walk with that sense of belonging and understanding and love for myself, I can go into a room, and when I am welcomed, and that welcoming feeling is nourished by the people I'm around or the places I find myself in, I'm able to really lean in and extensively become that feeling of belonging. So even if I'm not so welcomed into a room, um, that sense of belonging to myself, loving myself to the utmost, not in a vain way, but just aware of how I'm feeling and loving myself through my emotions, what I look like, and loving myself through my appearance. When I'm in spaces where I'm not feeling as if I belong, I belong to me. So I'm able to come into that space with grace and hold space for others to meet me and pass through, or meet me and shift and stay. But I know my energy for me is what I need to stay out. Whatever I need to do here, wherever I need to go, I belong in my skin. I know of myself, and I can be grounded. I'm not moved so deeply by those around me to an extent where I can't recover from thinking to myself, like, okay, is this how I'm feeling, or is this based on what I'm interacting with? Is this what I believe, or is this based on something that has crossed my path, or something someone said to me today? So that sense of belonging has to really be rooted in self first for me. And it'll defy the odds of the places where I don't belong, because now I belong here. I'm here and I belong here while I'm here. And when when I leave, whether I do belong here after I'm gone, or whether I don't belong here when I'm gone, when I was here, I belonged. I was here. I did what I needed to do. I held my space in my capacity with grace and authenticity, and I left when it was time for me to go.
Beautiful. And that brings me back to the thought that had left me for a moment. I like that with the teachings that you're bringing to your children. I'm just going to wrap it up this way. Instead of chasing the goal that and using your dialogue, the colonial have presented to us over and over and over and push upon us, you're saying find the gold in you first.
Mm-hmm.
Lead with that.
Yes.
Lead with that. I love that.
Yes.
Mister.
Yes. Before we go any further, man, tell the people where they can find you. Tell them your YouTube channel. Shout yourself out, girl. Do your thing.
Oh, absolutely. This is about to be the ultimate plug. No shade to the streets. You know what I'm saying? We are going to plug in first Mama Bear. You can find me at Nish, NISH _ FROM _ Norf, NORF. Oh, that's my puppy. He'll be okay, just like the children. He wants a YouTube channel as well, and he'll get one. He's trying to speak his piece. Well, you'll get your plug next time, but your owner's next. Nolan, our baby, go Kawhi, his YouTube channel that started since he was about 4 and he's 10 now. So the content is
That's
very
awesome.
creative. We have go Go Kawhi, Kawai, and that is Kawaii spelled in as from the Japanese term for cute. And on YouTube as well is my second baby, Solo Radio, SOLORADIO. That is all of my notions that I'm working on, everything that I am housing, every place you could find me so far to see what I am doing creatively, artistically, expressively, honestly, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
You remind me of someone who lived in the era, the people of the flower people, the 60s
Said
and
that a lot.
70s. Like,
Absolutely.
so it's
Save
nice
the world, be
to
the
hear you
world.
and embrace you. Um, I'm going to give a little bit of piece to the audience here, and then she'll hopefully perform it before we close for sure. But where Nish
Look
lives,
at look at
my
them.
family is on that same block.
Yes.
Years. And I happened to be there visiting and sitting on the porch with my father. We're just talking. It's morning, having our coffee. His side, my father's side of the family lives there. So I hear some melody. Oh, somebody singing. Oh, it sounds beautiful. Who is singing? Now, my father's hard of hearing. He really can't hear it. So I tell him, hold on, I'm going to go. I went off the porch. I start trailing down the block. Follow your nose. I was following my ear to the sound, y'all.
Yes.
And then a silhouette was in the doorway of the screen, and she's holding a baby. And I'm looking at her from across the street, and it's her singing.
Mhm.
I said, "Oh my gosh, good morning, beautiful voice. Oh my gosh." She just looked, thank you. Wow. And I just went on my way back, left her to what she was doing. It took whatever time, another visit that I in Philly, and she was sitting on a porch because I knew I wanted to have more of a conversation with this young woman. So I see I'm there. She's on the porch. She looks like she's crafting or something. So I just say, let me get up here. Like I got to go to the store. That's what I'm thinking. Really don't have to. But and I come by and I just say, oh, hi. And that's how we start the conversation. And that's when I invited her to be a guest. So this is like last year sometime. So we're just coming around to it. But I think you're gonna do a little melody for us, right? Before we get out.
Yes, I could do a little one too.
All right. Now, but before let's savor that. With this artwork behind you, give us some of that. Tell us about it, please.
So this here is my home gallery, Nish Haus Gallery. The start of the first wall in the collection of all of the pieces I've been creating and curating. Since some of the pieces I have documented back to 2016, 2017, 2018. And I am just now able to finish these pieces. Like when you hear women say, it's because I'm a mom, my children, I'm a mom, that is so serious. It's like the postpartum is just as serious as the upside. Like it's a lot to consider, and motherhood took me 10 years to figure out what is this and how do I manage it and how do I even get back to it when I'm putting it away for months at a time. Oh, wow. So this is just like the emergence of, I want to say, one of my core pillars, like music, that just is like, if this isn't going, I I'm probably gonna start tweaking. just, just to be honest, because as you can see, the things that I create isn't everyday images. It's like you don't meet a dolly every day. You don't meet it's another artist. She made one of my favorite paintings. I've studied that for as long as I could to forget it like blasphemy. But I want to say O'Keefe. We'll leave that for me to rediscover and be elated later in time about that. But just these pieces where it's raining gems, it's like I'd rather see that as opposed to when it's raining and it smells like unmentionables in certain pockets of inner city spaces. So this was a space for me to like start. Don't wait for a venue, don't wait for a curator, don't wait for a museum. You have a wall and you've been running through the breaking the rules of the house and home that your mom set for you to not change her anything. So I'm pretty sure a couple of nails in the wall will be fine. Like, and this is what I see as soon as I wake up.
That's beautiful, Mister.
Yes. Looking ahead, what are some of your hopes for the future? Artistic practices and just everything that you got going on.
My hopes for the future are ever expanding. They're like, when it comes to the future, I feel like what Michael Jackson said, if I don't do something about what I'm downloading prints, however many princes is out there, going to do what I'm set to achieve these visions that come into my head. And when we look at Michael Jackson, we look at Prince, these aren't people who transitioned into being icons just because they were famous. They are icons because of how they contributed to these arenas that they're in, that shifted the beliefs, the philosophies, the consumption, the appearance of mass collectives. And we're shifting, we're knowingly shifting like the psyche of a lot of people. So years from now, I want my name, my children's name, my husband's name to be on placards around the city that identifies not just, oh, we did this or you know what I'm saying, this is mine. Like, no, this involves me, but this involvement of me wouldn't even be a thing without the city. Like, that's the thing about me looking at placards in the city. I'm not looking at it as me being above the city or leading the city. I'm looking at it as being a staple part of what's not going to break what makes this city. So when I'm thinking about 5 years from now, we have a lot of so my son, he's in CCA, which is homeschool. I want to be able to curate more events, more programs that allows inner city students to do things that's as simple as doing a kickback or having a game day or a paint and play. Like these simple things may come across as, oh, we're just getting the kids together, but they're building with each other. They're getting to know what a kid should do. Like, I'm not shading technology, but I do believe children should be outside more than they are in the house. Their cognitive awareness isn't adapted to how advanced technology keeps evolving. So that has to be seen and implemented in a genuine way. So 5 years from now, I see my children into weaving their philosophies and connecting with those who can help them build, and they're helping other build. And I'm able to make my dreams come true of owning multiple homes, a couple ranches with my cows and my chickens. I'm able to honor my husband's mother and build a compound and have family around where you can be. You don't have to stay, but that's your house and you don't have to be in mine. But I can see you. I got you. The garden is over there. We can go fishing in the pond. Whenever you come home and you don't see me in my house, look over by the lake. But just know all of this is ours. It may not be 5 years from now, but I know the seed will have sprouted something that will make that the oak tree that extends past those 5 years. So 5 years, I hope everything that we set a vision to and a motion towards gets that that range and that energy and that awareness that it needs to keep building and to keep connecting.
You got some people showing love in the chat. They said yes, yes, hell yes to community and self-sufficiency. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got another one coming in. Homeschooling is very personal. So the idea of getting them out the house and off them phones and tablets is an amazing idea. There you go.
Yes, because they're all on the screen. And before I put my son in homeschool, he was in daycare. And I was young. I had a lot of time on my hands. I was able to spend some time in the field. I'm always in nature. I'm a big nature girly. Wissahickon Trailway is my favorite place to be, honestly. Anything with a bunch of leaves and colorful things flying, you can find me there. But while I was out and he was at daycare, I seen a mother in the same field that I was in, and she walked in. She was actually pregnant too. And she walked in the field, her baby's following behind her like two little ducklings. She opened up her quilt, she sat down and began teaching them. And I'm like, I can do that. Like, I can do that. I want to do that. And I was already in a space where I was staying at the daycare my son was going to, the way that I do now with our second child. I was staying when drop off is 8, 9. I'm there at 11 a.m., 10 a.m. And it's because I dropped them off, but I didn't leave. I'm just, doing Play-Doh with the children, conversing with the teachers, actually interested in their curriculum, helping the teachers, because a lot of inner city schools, especially daycare child, you would think if they cost you an arm and a leg, they would have staffing in order, but paying $250 or $350 a week for a child and you're still understaffed. I stay and help the teachers that take care of my kids. I'm mopping the floor, I'm wiping the table, I'm putting the stuff away, and the kids running around there like, Miss Anisha, look what yes, Miss Nisha is here with the good energy. That I feel like you see me and you could trust me enough. I'm supporting you. You got your eyes are lighting up. So yeah, when it comes to homeschool, I like it to be both. You could take the laptop outside, honestly. Yeah. You can take the lab outside. You can transfer a lot of the lessons that are online. You could, don't tell them that I'm saying this, but you could text the teacher and let them know that, you won't be making it to class. Don't lie. Just don't get too extensive. You won't be making it to virtual class today, but you will have the assignments in place and you can review the recorded video of the lesson. Don't go to that VR lesson. Don't go to the virtual lesson. Take that curriculum and move it to a different environment and teach your child, because you're still the learning coach. So you got. I love the liberty. You got a lot of free range. I wish more Black parents knew this, but that's why I never took my son out of homeschool, because I was just trying to figure out how I can get into that network and into that system. And this year feels really good. I have a lot of stuff moved aside to be able to focus on his education specifically. So we're about to hopefully I see more of the parents and the families in the city, and we get to do a lot that gives our children's minds not just a structure but a different perception than just SEPTA buses, people standing on a corner, going back and forth to school, going back and forth to the store, seeing certain stuff on TV, maybe getting a field trip. Like, if we can't go do what is more colonially advanced and easier on that side of the place, we need to get a little bit more innovative and fuel those who have the passion for it by actually showing up. All you gotta do is just bring your kid and don't you know what I'm saying? Don't stifle what the both of y'all can gain, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Nish, you mentioned about rooms in a house and how they serve a purpose. You are building your house as the architect structure is very creative, very nourishing. So tell us about that. I did see here you said something about 7 rooms, but how does each part of a home matter from when you enter, or even, let's say, I'm gonna go a little step further, when you're approaching your home? And then once you enter in those, from that point in all the different spaces, how does that matter?
Wow. This question makes me a little, not even a little, a bit of giddy. So I'm trying to get my emotions right so I can articulate, because I recently started my first interior design portfolio this year, and my first entry project was a threshold, like your foyer, your vestibule, that space right before you get into your living room or stuff like that. And while I was working on this specific project, I noticed that this entryway doubled as like a functioning threshold, the same way you would look at a dining room. Like a dining room is that middle fulcrum in that travel spot between the living room and the kitchen. It's like a hallway, but it's still a room. So you have to understand a lot of a lot of different pockets, of which I love learning in interior design. And coming into a threshold, one, a part of my first project, which was a design model for a blacksmith. I'm so black.
A blacksmith.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Because I wanted to bridge that Afro diaspora. I wanted to design something that was culturally inclined, and the narrative came to be a blacksmith. So So I'm like, okay, when a blacksmith comes home, he's wielding things, he's in a hot room, he wants to decompress and not feel all of this heat going on. So I want to utilize certain materials on the wall that can not only give him a sense of compression to orientate himself outside, from being outside in the world and coming back into the home. I want this space of compression slash decompression to be imbued with colors and materials that allows him to psychologically orientate himself, and also tie to the narrative of being a blacksmith. So I named it the Ember Threshold, and the colors translate muted tones of embers that fly from the work of a blacksmith. And I'm also thinking about his functionality. When you come at home, you probably got heavy boots on, heavy, you know what I'm saying? You can come straight into the house. You have your landing space with a sconce. So your landing space allows you breathing room to walk in. You're not overcrowded by the lamp right here or the hooks right here. You got space to walk in and close the door comfortably without bumping into anything. And then you turn. As you're turning, this is your circulation. You're turning and you're taking off your jacket, you hang it up, and you're going straighter into the path. As your path is opening up, you still have your shoes on your feet, but you had a long day. You can sit right here on this bench that is also a compartment and a shelf for your shoes. So that functionality, as soon as you walk in, strips you or it should strip you of a weight that is not necessary as you're going into a personal sanctuary, in my perspective. Like, you should be able to be stripped down to your bare comfortable self and not have to feel like you're masking in your home, or you have to carry. You should want to be able to let things go in your home. So designing a threshold in that first project, I specifically designed to strip the person of the weight of the outside world, good or bad, and reorient themselves to go further into their home, like with ease, so to speak, and feel welcome. Oh, and to homage him being a blacksmith, I had a polished iron sculpture of a panther, like a black panther head, on a light mineral wall to give it a dramatic theme and have the contrasting of light and dark elements. But that lighter element came at the very end of the hall with that sculpture to represent how the room is opening up. Once you reach that end of the hallway, you're now at the next threshold into the living room. So it's like a light that's drawing you in.
This is beautiful. And it might be troublesome. You might have stirred up a little trouble for some women because they may gonna be like, can you do that? Or their
Okay,
husbands.
trust me.
I
I'm gonna
want you
make
to
it my
set
due
the scene
diligence
for
to
me
get a book out
when I
there.
come home. Huh?
I'm gonna make it my due diligence to get a guidebook out there. Eventually, in that 5-year span, that includes feng
There you
shui
go.
and a bagua map that is associated to the foundation of our asporic, not asporic, Afro diasporic
Yeah.
connections. So the husbands could get take that to a Home Depot, Lowe's. You don't gotta trip yourself up too much on articulation and thinking. Just open the book to page 92 or 103, and you got
It's an
it.
important, it's an important thing, and that many women we're lost in that. We don't give that to men. If people we have a lot of us have this mindset, oh, we grown, he knows, but like, look, even at my age, and if I was to go home to my mother, there's nothing better than that. And a man who loves his mom, has his mother, like, there's nothing better than that scene that you're gonna get when you're approaching the house, when you put your foot over the ground. It's nothing like it. So we need to do better and give that to each other in our relationships and our marriages. I think it can cut away all of the stuff that happens, the troubled things that happen in our unions. When you have comfort at home, I mean, you're comforted. Where you going?
Life is always pushing comfort. You learn how to adapt through.
Yeah, you want that stage to be said, because wherever he going, he thinking about me.
Okay.
No doubt.
We know the energy of what's at home.
Right. And it has nothing to do with
the walls, on
it has
the floors.
nothing to do with the little box between the legs.
Yes, absolutely. It has everything to do with the energy in the walls. What's on the door, everything that goes into the floor, how it's designed in that environment. Because that's a reflection. First of all, that environment is me. This is my stuff. It's me to the maximum. Like so of course, but knowing that translation, even if me being a maximalist and being with a minimalist, those representations, whether it's a small nook or a specific desk, it keeps that that moment and that energy of being acknowledged very important. Because when you're sitting in spaces, you're like, how could I forget about me? Or how could you forget about me? How could I forget about you? How could you forget about you? Look at everything of what we are around us. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
I like that. We ask every guest that come on the show, when you hear the phrase art for change, what does that mean to you? So as I ask every guest, when you hear the phrase art for change, what does that mean to you?
Art for change. As a multidisciplinary woman, affluently, art for change, man, I could really give you a monologue on what that means. I wouldn't be able to just give you a small quote, because growing up, art was the only thing that made sense. Like, if it wasn't a creative outlet, like literally it didn't have to be drawing. Writing is a top creative outlet, and I wanted to be a teacher for composition. So when it comes to art for change, you can change your mind. Art for changing mind, art for changing the spirit. Art is music. You turn on music, it instantly changes your frequencies. It changes your mood. You could be feeling like, excuse my French, shit rolled in glitter. But as soon as you turn on those headphones, that alchemizes into manure that sprouts the harvest. Now you feel like a garden in abundance because you put that music on, that art. is for changing self. Art is for changing the world. Art is for change, period. So that's what I think. Art is for change, period. Because the more you go into depth of what change is, art is literally the definition of perception forever changing. Because art is that perception of this person in one way, and it could be perceptions 5 different ways from one person. Then you have one art theme topic, and now the art is for changing how many perspectives can be drawn, how many philosophies actually land here. Art is for change, period.
Listen, hey, look, she done gave me the best one.
I love being black and growing old. I'm telling
you.
Clip
that.
Clip that. There you go. There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, I love it. Before we get you out of here, I think they said you're going to do some little singing for us.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm already sweating like I'm on stage, child. Let's get into it.
Go ahead. Let me just drop to the people, because Nish says, you said music helps you process and communicate. So let us have some of those emotions right now.
Ooh. This now, Tevin Campbell. Now we know this, as I sing this in honor of my Puerto Rican queen, my husband's mother, my children's grandmother. Child, she loved this song. I loved singing this song to her while I was in the kitchen. She'd be singing with me, seeing me in the kitchen. And the perception. Sometimes I like to sing this to myself in the mirror because can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. This is self-affirmation. We're getting to get to know yourself. Invite yourself to yourself and say, can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. It took me a long time to like my name. It did. I was running, but I love it now.
I love that.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. It ties into
clip that.
Everything. Get to know yourself.
Yes.
Know yourself. Don't perform. Don't as this and that. Know you.
Yeah. Let the mask fall. Let the mask fall when you're in the mirror.
Yeah.
And that was live, folks. They don't know auto-tune or nothing. That's just pure talent right there.
With the nervous jitters, believe it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what Art for Change give you, baby. You better lock in.
Absolutely.
Yes. Before we get started, I got a fun question. If you could have any superpower that can enhance your creativity, what would it be and how would you use it to advance your art?
I would have the power of not just this power itself, but the power of this person. So I would have the power of Loki, the god of mischief, because Loki can shapeshift. He can multiply himself. He has a very, 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 like when you get into the lore, he has a very slick silver tongue, almost as if it's literally meant to sway you. He has a lot of illusion magic. So there is just, it'll be like the magic of being Sabrina the Teenage Witch, so to speak, because it's just like adventure awaits when you have that much on you and capable in your hands. So it's just like every Michael Jackson download that cannot get to Prince, I'm on that expeditiously in like 5 different ways.
Yes, I love it, man. Hey, hubby showing you love in the chat. He said best singer in Philly. You better know it.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Yes,
you know, I studied the greats, Jilly from Philly, Jasmine. I love me some Anita Baker. Child, I sit there all day. I just discovered Teddy Pendergrass' record not too long ago, one of his records, and it's because I was driving home and somebody was playing it in the car in front of me. So I'm like, I'm using voice to text, like, yo, I don't know what this song is, but I'm listening and track, like, just pay attention to the lyrics, and then we're going to find out what song this is, because I rock with this song. And it was so old school lays down that rooted foundation, especially for me in music, because the message is not the same. The delivery a lot of toxic, and I'm just like, what happened to the men that want to light the candles and cry in the rain, child? Y'all just out here weird flexing, and I don't like it.
Ain't no more OJs, ain't no more we cried together. Last night, me and my woman, we cried. They don't know about that, right?
Yeah,
you gonna start crying, they not ready. You know, that's a real
a gentle foreplay.
There you go.
A gentle foreplay. Something that you got to think about it, not this.
Yes, I want to actually hear the fireplace during our conversation, because we're just talking so intimately, but I still hear you, and the ambiance is just as loud. Like, please set the stage for somebody like me. You know, like, you cannot play around, because I'm sitting there looking like,
like I am a sensory person. I need you to set the scene. Okay.
Very much sensory.
That's right. Nish, it's such a pleasure to have you here, and you're always welcome back, and there's a lot more to draw from you. And for me, it's in the presence with you and diving in conversation. It's not just a quick thing, because you pour so much out, so intellectually and articulately, that it's like, I gotta sit with that for a moment. I would really like to absorb that a little bit to see what more would conjure up in me that, and give me that I could even speak about, and those things like that. So I'm saying that because I found this that way for me. So a good interview for sure, but not so easy on me, because it's like, dang, I need more time to just sit with that. What do I say that?
It's like those pillow talk conversations that just defy the odds and could last a good 72.
But I can tell you what Lady Alva will do. I'll be carrying it with me. I'll be sleeping with it tonight. I'll be carrying it with me tomorrow and many a days thereafter. I'm so pleasant that you came and received the invite, and keep in touch with us so we know what else more is going on with you, and we'll be following you to take peekaboos and have you back again for round 2.
Yes. Before we close out, if we could do as we typically do, we go before the end of every show, we go around a panel and give a word of information just to the collective. So you got a word of information for us, love?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
A word of information.
Affirmation.
Affirmation. Oh, affirmation. Okay. I don't know. I think a lot of my words have been a lot of words of affirmation.
Oh yes, absolutely. You just dropped a lot of jewels tonight.
Yeah, I will say, just because we're crying, we're crybabies here on Earth. We're human. Whether you're a man or a woman, cry, release that, be vulnerable, embrace your softness, because your softness is not your weakness. Your softness is actually information. Your softness is data. Your softness tells you where you need to be nourished. Your softness tells you what you're missing. So cry so you can release those tears and have the space to identify what those tears were even holding in the first place. So cry. Be a crybaby. From the biggest crybaby.
Cry now.
So cry.
Cry about everything. That stuff. Cry.
Yeah, that's nice.
Lady Alva, you got a word of affirmation for the game before we get up out of here?
Give your creativity to yourself first before you spring it, give it to the world.
Yes. My boy BU not here, so I'm gonna use his phrase tonight, man. Be you, man. Don't be afraid to be your authentic self. You feel me? Before we close up out of here, give everybody your socials again and tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and I believe YouTube is also Nish, Nish underscore from FROM underscore Norf NORF. That is my Instagram, my YouTube, and my TikTok. And for my babies, just go Kawaii. That's GOGO Kawaii KAWAII, and that is Kawaii, which is Japanese for cute. And you already know solo radio. You spell it how it sounds. My baby solo. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. Love it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for coming, man. Hey, anytime you want to come back, anytime you got something to discuss, and when you drop that book, please come back and share it with us.
Say less.
Yeah.
I will be more than excited to. Thank you for sharing everything that you have for me tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome
Yes,
so much.
yes.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, yes. For our listeners, man, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend. The Art for Change is in. And as we close out tonight, y'all, don't forget to art. If you're going to art, baby, you better art for change. We
That's
out,
right.
gang.
That was awesome. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was